So who wants to talk about happiness, suffering, and dissension? So this is going to be kind of interesting, I think. Dissension is one of those words, at least for me, that I don't use it a whole lot. I don't hear it a whole lot. So I had to look it up. So I copied the meaning. You all know what it means, but just to put it out there, dissension means strong disagreement, a contention or quarrel, or discord. It also means difference in sentiment or opinion, disagreement. Is there any of that in your life right now? Gosh, it's everywhere, isn't it? Dissension. People disagree. They argue. We don't like that, do we? We get tired of that. Especially in our world. We keep wanting to be happy. And I come up with a way to be happy. I'm convinced that if I do this or do that I'll be happy. And then there's some guy over there, this guy starts to argue with me. He disagrees. I don't like that. He's telling me that I'm wrong. So this goes on a lot in our world that we live in. So, but where does this come from? Now, there is the source, right? We all believe in the source. So, does dissension come from the source, from God? Think about that. What do you think?
Everything comes from God, so.
Dissension too?
Must, right? Everything comes from God.
Drill down. Think about it. That's the knee-jerk reaction. Everything comes from God, so therefore dissension comes from God. So does evil, yeah?
Well, evil doesn't, because evil is just a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, so what about dissension?
It's a lack of agreement.
Right. So we're going to get into that. That'll make you think a little bit, won't it?
I was just thinking that gopis have some dissension with Krishna sometimes.
But that's on the other side. So to make this clear, by the way, what are your names? Are you guys new? You too? Yeah. What are your names? Mike and Kristen. Kristen.
You know them, Rudy.
I do. Do I know? No, you guys in the back. Do I know you?
We met him at the movie with us.
Oh, okay. I forget. Well, that's why I don't see that well. I have glasses, but I need new glasses. But as far away as you are, it's kind of a blur. So, but I'll fix that. When I get to India, I can get a deal on glasses, which I haven't.
For $900.
Huh?
$900.
Yeah, a guy in Navadvip, across the Ganges from Mayapur. This guy tried to sell me a new set of glasses for $960. I mean, it was like 3 times what the price should be. And anyway, that's a whole other story. Dissented. We disagreed and we argued. Actually, he didn't. That was all me, wasn't it? And I got kind of upset with him. Tied up for like an hour, hour and a half. And then the price comes out and I'm not going to do that. So anyway, that's another story. So we're going to talk about a few things, but to understand, let's look at the big picture. So there is time. We all know of time. Then there is the other side of time. There is the material world. There's the other side of the material world. Think of it. You ever seen one of those clouds? Sometimes you see a cloud and there's a hole in it and the sunlight's shining through the cloud. It looks like somebody Krishna's or one of the demigods is shining a light through there. So what if you could look through that hole and you see into the spiritual world? So this material world is a small part of the big picture. We think it's the all in all. Scientists will tell you this is the all in all, although then they'll later on admit, we don't know. We don't know how far this thing goes. We don't really have a good picture of what's going on. So they keep changing it. They'll tell you that they know, but then they'll change it later on. So if you could look through this hole in the clouds and look into the real world, the other side, true reality, the other side of time. What do I mean by that? In the spiritual world, in the real world, the permanent world, there's no such thing as time. Time doesn't exist. There is time in this material world because it needs to do what it does. It needs to deteriorate. There must be a duration for the material world. You see? So, if Krishna didn't come as time, Krishna says, who saw that movie, Oppenheimer? Who saw it? You know, he quoted Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, time I am, destroyer of worlds. So, everything that comes, according to Sri Ishopanishad, everything that comes from this Supreme, he's complete and perfect. Everything that comes from the complete and perfect whole is also complete and perfect. So this material world is God's energy. It's also complete and totally perfect. Just like you. You are totally perfect. Now we'll get into that later. You may be thinking, well, thanks for the compliment. I don't think I'm perfect. Well, you are. You are perfect. Except you're confused. Your consciousness has been affected by this world that's around you. You accept this as reality, and you accept this as your home. So you're affected by it. So that is your only imperfection. If you could change your consciousness, you would regain, you wouldn't have anything impeding your perfection. Perfect thinking, perfect acting. You know, if you took away, this is our biggest impediment right now. We've been contaminated by the material consciousness, and we'll get into that. But if Krishna didn't come to this world as eternal time, nothing would ever wear out. Everything would last forever because it's perfect and complete. There would be no duration. You know, you buy a car and it would last eternity. There's no way to wear it out. You never have to change the oil or have it tuned up. You never have to buy a set of tires. You know, everything. So time erodes everything. And there's a reason for that. So we're going to talk about happiness, suffering, and dissension. So what about suffering? We don't want it, do we? We don't want suffering. But yet we suffer, don't we? You know? We don't want happiness to go away. We want, when we get something or someone that makes us happy, it doesn't necessarily last forever, does it? It comes and it goes. So this is the nature of the material world. There is a duration to everything. In the spiritual world, there is no duration. Everything is eternal. That includes you. You are eternal. So you, the eternal, perfect entity, a part and parcel of the Supreme, are here in this imperfect world. And so it's hard for you to get satisfied. And if you do get satisfied, it's hard to stay satisfied. So Lord Krishna's aunt, Queen Kunti, had this realization. She had gone through, if you know the Vedas, she had gone through so much trouble and suffering. You know, her and her family were they attempted to be poisoned. Her house was burned down. People were looking, searching for them to kill them. They were banished to the forest, and then people were hunting them down. It was a horrible, many, many years of suffering and hiding, someone trying to track them down and kill them, you see. And so after this is finished, she's talking with Krishna. And Krishna said, "You've suffered so much, my dear aunt. What can I give you? I'll give you anything. Just ask for it. What can I give you? I feel like I should do something to make you feel better from all this suffering that you've endured." And Queen Kunti looked at Krishna and said, "I want it all again. I want it again. Bring it back on. I want this suffering again. Because all through this suffering that me and my family went through, we were simply taking shelter of you. Year after year, we thought of you. Well, there was nothing else. And that was because they were unhappy. They were suffering. People were trying to hurt them. Yet, my dear friend Krishna will always protect me. So they always thought of Krishna. So her concern was, if I'm not suffering, if I'm not exposed to this calamity, then I won't think about you. I'll try to enjoy what's in front of me." And this is good thinking. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 8th chapter, 28th verse, this very same Queen Kunti says to Krishna, "O my Lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions between living entities, between living beings, are due to social intercourse." Now, usually intercourse is something we associate with sex, but Srila Prabhupada speaks very proper English, so intercourse means interface. So, let me read that again. "I consider your lordship to be eternal time." Krishna says, "Time I am, destroyer of worlds." Kala is one of Krishna's names. He is eternal time. And therefore, that makes you the supreme controller. Time controls everything. We all have to march to time, don't we? We have to be somewhere at the right time. You have to be at work at the right time. You have to be at the movie at the right time, or it'll start without you. Time is controlling everything, isn't it? Well, the plants can't grow until the season is right. They can't continue to grow because time has changed. It's like some places here in Arizona, they actually have grass. You ever notice that? A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people think that there's no grass anywhere in Arizona. Except, we water it and we keep it going. But I notice when I go for a walk, I like to walk in parks and chant my morning japa. And so in the summertime, the grass is looking pretty good. But then in the wintertime, even here, the grass gets kind of brown, doesn't it? Looks like it's dead, but it's actually dormant. Things changed. Time moved on, and now the environment is not conducive for the grass to be healthy. So it just goes dormant. And it'll stay that way until time makes another arrangement. Then it'll get green again. In some parts of the country, they have these things called trees. Yeah, we have trees here too, but I don't know. These guys, these eucalyptus trees, they don't turn brown and their leaves don't turn brown in them. But in other parts of the world, we know.
The leaves do fall.
Do they?
Bark falls and trees fall.
Yeah. So things become inconducive. It's not conducive for the trees to flourish. So to protect from their moisture that they get, they drop their leaves. Winter's coming, the leaves die, and they drop. So time is controlling everything. So Queen Kunti is correct. My dear Krishna, you are eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and without end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. So this is really important. We have to understand that Krishna gives mercy to everyone. Whether you're evil, do evil people get mercy? It's there for them. They could get it. Let's talk about evil later on, because someone, Albert Einstein was a big fan of Bhagavad Gita, and he read it every day. And so there was a discussion about evil and Einstein's opinion on evil. Remind me, we'll talk about that later. I don't want to get sidetracked right now. So you're equal to everyone. And then dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. What does she mean by this? Because we interface with each other, there's dissension? It's because we get off the subject of spiritual life. We get off the subject of spiritualism. We get off the subject of Krishna. Now, even in the liberated stage, the gopis, they argue sometimes. I think I should serve Krishna this type of preparation. And then someone else says, no, you should serve Krishna this type of preparation. Well, my idea is better. My idea is better. So they disagree. But yet they're agreeing that we want to both serve Krishna. I'm thinking we should give him this type of preparation. No, he wants something sweet. No, he wants something salty and something spicy. No. See? But it's not like, well, I disagree with you, so therefore I want to hurt you. I want people to think what an idiot you are because you want to give Krishna sweets. I think that he should have something salty. So we're not out to get you. We just disagree, but we both agree that we want to serve Krishna. We want to make Krishna happy. So that's not the kind of dissension that we're talking about. It's not the kind of dissension that we have in the material world. And we see it all around us right now. As a matter of fact, as Kali Yuga goes on, this disagreement, this dissension is going to continue. Can we think of a time, can anybody think of a time or I can't. I've been around almost 80 years and I can't remember a time when there was no war. So there's always going to be war. It's part of the material world. It's always been here. It's going to continue. All we can do is manage it and try to keep it to a minimum. It's like suffering. Suffering is always here. We just get to manage it, you see. So it's very interesting. Between living entities, we disagree. And when I disagree with you, I'm afraid that he may believe what you're saying, and I disagree with you. So I've got to go to him, because he may agree with you too, but I want him to agree with me. I've got to discredit you. And so I think of all the things I know about you that maybe you're bad. All right, there's really nothing bad about him, but Okay, so I'll exaggerate a little bit, maybe I'll even fabricate, but that's okay because I'm right and I want them to believe me and not you. Have we ever seen this happen before? It's happening right now. It's happening all over. It's always been here. This is the way we, living entities that are affected by the material energy, the way we relate with each other. You see? So this is the kind of dissension that Queen Kunti is talking about here. Kunti Devi knew, this is Srila Prabhupada talking, Kunti Devi knew that Krishna was neither her nephew nor an ordinary family member of her paternal house. She knew perfectly well that Krishna is the primeval Lord who lives in everyone's heart as the Supersoul, Paramatma. Another name for Paramatma feature of the Lord is Kala, time, or eternal time. Eternal time is the witness of all our actions, good and bad, and thus resultant actions are destined by him. So, we're talking about karma. Supersoul, Krishna, lives in your heart. He lives with all of us. Why is that? Because when you decided to come to the material world to get away from him, to see what it's like to be away from him, he couldn't bear it. You want to get away from him, he's going to let you get away from him, at least in your perception, but he can't bear to be away from you. This is the bond of love between God and the living entity. So he sneaks right along with you. He's right next to you. Like Prabhupada says, like two birds in a tree. The tree branch, two birds are there. Here we are, and we're thinking, here I am. We don't know. Krishna's right next to us. Why? He's attached. He loves you so much. Can't let you out of his sight, and he doesn't have to. He can be with you, and you don't even know it. Why some people have Krishna sitting right next to them in their heart, and yet they profess, I'm an atheist. I don't even believe in God. It's kind of silly when you think about that picture. Two entities. One of them is Supersoul, one of them is the living entity, and they're saying, I don't believe in God. He's right next to you. And Krishna's like, sure, whatever. You have free will. You can believe whatever you want, whether it's true or not. You have free will to believe as you like. So the Supersoul is there, and he's witnessing everything. So does that mean he's the source of your suffering? You get bad karma? Has anybody here ever had any bad karma? Show of hands, yeah. You should hold your both hands up because you get a lot. Yeah, there you are. So we're suffering bad karma. Is that coming from God?
No, it's what you said. You fired the gun.
Huh?
You fired the gun.
Yeah. It's like if you're tired of dodging bullets, just come to the realization it was you that fired the gun. When bad comes your way, you started it. Krishna doesn't see, and God, no matter what religion that you believe in, God doesn't say, hey, you know what? I don't like that guy over there. Let's figure out something mean to do to him. Let's give him some bad karma. Well, I don't like that he's an atheist, or I don't like that he voted for this guy, or he didn't vote for that guy. Let's give him back. Why would Krishna do that? Why would he want you to suffer? He doesn't want you to suffer. He's so attached to you, he can't let you out of his sight because he loves you so much. He sneaks along with you. Why would he make you suffer? So where does the suffering come from? It comes from us. We do bad deeds. We get bad karma. It says, You've heard people say, what goes around comes around. In the Bible, it says, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. That's karma. You do good, you get a good return. You do bad, you get a bad return. So your friend, your eternal friend, Krishna, Super Soul, he's right next to you. And he's always keeping an eye on you. Why? Because he loves you. He's interested. He can't help himself. And so he's witnessing that you're doing this. You're doing some good. You're getting some good return. You're doing some bad. You're getting some bad return. Another name of the Paramatma feature of the Lord is Kala, or eternal time. Eternal time is the witness of all our actions. Prabhupada goes on, it is no use saying that we do not know why or for what we are suffering. You ever have that happen to you? Something wrong happens, and you're thinking, why me? I don't know how many hundreds, maybe thousands of times over the last so many decades, I've heard people say, I'm a good person. Has anybody ever thought they were a good person? Yeah, I'm a good person too. Has anybody here ever misbehaved? Oh yeah, I'm okay. But when things go bad for us, we think, hey, why me? Well, I'm a good person. I'm telling you, it's thousands of times that I've heard that. I'm a good person. So if something good is happening to you, do you say, thank you, Krishna?
Yes.
A lot of people don't. They just think, well, I deserve that. I'm a good person. I deserve good. So Prabhupada is pointing out here that it doesn't do you any good. It's a waste of time for you to try to figure out, I've got this bad thing happening or I've got this good thing happening. Why? Why is it? It's a waste of time. If you don't want bad things to happen, stop doing bad things. Well, that's kind of hard. Now think about that. If I'm going to live and get all good karma, I don't want any bad karma. So that means I've got to do everything good, right? What do they call that? Karma yoga. I'm going to do so that I get good return. But can you do that? Can you keep that up? I don't know. Can you? Can you do everything good? Never get nasty or never do anything bad? Not under our current situation. You can live like that, but not if you're just trying to enjoy the good side, because the bad will come with it. You ultimately will, unless you have a real cause, you ultimately will mess up and do something not so nice, and you'll have to get a not so nice return. So there is a way to do it so that you don't get any bad return, and that is live in the mode of pure goodness. Pure goodness means whatever I think, whatever I say, and whatever I do as an offering of love to Guru and Krishna. You have to include those two together. For it to work right, you've got to have the Guru and Krishna. You have to work through Guru to get to Krishna, isn't it? That's supported all over the Vedic literatures. Everywhere it's said again and again and again. So if I do what I do, say what I say, think what I think as an offering of love to Guru and Krishna, I don't get any bad karma. I don't get any good karma either. Is that a good trade? I have to give up getting good karma so that I don't get bad?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good, because I don't want good karma. If I have good karma is like a bank account. You make deposits So you do something good, you make a good deposit in your karma bank account. So now at the time of death, you look at the account, oops, looks like there's some good karma in here. You've got to take birth to accept the good karma. What's wrong with that?
You have to take birth. That's why.
You have to take birth.
One who's taken birth, death is certain.
It's guaranteed. One of the biggest guarantees you'll ever have if you're alive is that you will die. As soon as you take birth, death is somewhere attached. It's not that far behind you. It may take 100 years, but it's still going to come. That's not a good deal. I don't want to take another birth. And if I do come back to accept my good karma, I may do something nasty. I mean, what if I've got some really good karma coming? You know, like I'm to be born famous in a wealthy family. All of my life, I've seen this happen. People get born into wonderful, wealthy, aristocratic families and kill themselves in an automobile accident or the overdose on drugs. You know, they were born into what do they call a silver spoon in their mouth. And they overdo it. Not everybody does, but it's very possible. So you get that good karma, you can turn it into bad karma very, very quickly. Or you can get a bad result, you see. So that's not a good deal. I don't want to come back to have to accept bad or to have to accept good. At the time of death, I want a zero karma account. So to do that, then I have to live the life of bhakti. Bhakti means I do what I do as an offering of love. If you start doing that to Krishna and Guru, you'll find that that's just what you become. That's how you live your life, as an offering of love to everyone, not just the human beings, all living entities, trees, animals. You have love for everything. You see, you're not going to have love for everything. You're going to have love for very little if all you're trying to do is to enjoy the material energy. Because if you're trying to enjoy the material energy for yourself, then you've got to compete with everyone else who's trying to enjoy living into the material energy for themselves. This is the cause of war. You know? Now, like that country over there, you know, they've got, what is this new thing that they're rare earth metals? You know, this country over here, they've got rare earth metals. We need them. My army's bigger than theirs. I think we can take them. Let's go get it. I mean, it happens. It happens a lot. It's been happening all throughout history. One country or one person has something that somebody else wants, so they come to get it. People will die, people will suffer, but I'll get what I want, you see. So this is the nature of the material world when I get in amongst everyone else who wants to satisfy their desires. Then I'll argue with you. There will be dissension because you want one thing and I want that thing. So I have to discredit you or fight you, kill you, whatever I have to do to take what you have that I think I deserve it. I can convince myself that I deserve it. I don't really. Karma is that you have it. Why should I disturb your karma? Why should I be envious of you? You did something nice to have this wonderful thing that you have that I want to enjoy. One of the biggest things that wars have been fought over, what do you think? I mean, what do you think? Anybody what is one of the biggest reasons why countries have gone to war?
Resources.
Okay, that's true. And there's one that's up there just about the same, maybe even more.
Beautiful women.
Women. We don't have enough women. That country over there has got beautiful women. Let's go kill the king and take the women. Have we ever heard that story before? It's going on now. Human trafficking. There's somebody who wants the women. Well, we'll go get them, we'll kill a few people, smuggle them out of the country. It's a big value. Well, this has been going on since time immemorial, isn't it? It's not, this trafficking, whether it's sex trafficking or what, this has always been happening. All of a sudden now we're paying attention to it. Well, that's good. We need to see if we can stop that. We can stop it with guns, or we can stop it by giving people intelligence that they can figure it out for themselves. But I want your resources. It could be rare earth metals, could be your women, it could be whatever, gold. Soon it's going to be, well, I'll probably be dead. You guys will have to deal with it. Sooner, one of these days, it's going to be water. That's not that far down the road. Water is going to become so precious. I remember when I was a child, way, way, way back in the last century, water was cheap. Well, if you want to drink of water, you just go to the sink and get a glass of water, you know. Water sells for more than gasoline now. You thought about that? I think, I don't know, what do the gallons of water cost? If you go buy a gallon of purified water,
I don't know.
$2.
So it's not as much as gasoline, but it's like $2.
Depends on the type of water.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what they're going to convince you to buy. Well, this has additives, and it has this, and it has something else, and then it has all these things, and it's $6 a gallon, you know? And really, all you really need to quench your thirst and to be healthy is H2O. They made a business out of it, you know? So, and the water got contaminated through time from our industrial activities. The water got a little contaminated. Now, instead of cleaning it up, I'll make a business out of it. You know, if you want like a regular 12-ounce bottle of water, sometimes when we're traveling, you stop and go into a gas station or a truck stop and you get a thing of water. It's like almost $2. Sometimes it's more than $2 for a quart. Now, if you've grown up in that, you may think, well, so what? But I remember when water was something that nobody would charge you for. They wouldn't think of it. You know, you need some water? Well, yeah, there's a fountain over there. Well, now we're like, I don't want that. You know, rightfully so, because it may be full of who knows what. You have a question?
I was thinking of this. You said something interesting. You said that if it's, why should I want what you have if it's your karma to have it? I was thinking of that verse in the Upanishad. It says everything is owned and controlled by God, and therefore one should accept only what is given as his quota and not desire someone else's things, knowing well to whom they belong. Because everything belongs to God, so he's distributing it accordingly. But because we don't understand that principle, there's so much, you know, starvation and things. But if we just understood that, then
We're not thinking about God, though. I'm not thinking about, well, you probably deserve what you have. You have it, I want it. Now, if I lived a life always thinking, saying, and doing to please Guru and Krishna, well, I wouldn't think like that. I wouldn't be envious of what you have. Unless I had a momentary lapse of reason. Momentarily, I start to think. I lose consciousness of reality. I may be a really good person, a really good devotee. I'm trying to live my life for Guru and Krishna. But once in a while, I might have a breakthrough, I may lose my devotion and I'll make some bad decisions. Now, as you chant Hare Krishna year after year, that's going to happen less and less and less. And you'll consider people, other people, more than you consider yourself. For that to happen, you've got to become self-realized. You've got to realize who you are. You're eternal, part and parcel of Krishna. You've got to realize what your eternal relationship is with Krishna. And then you won't depart. If Krishna is your dearmost friend and you're trying to please him, wait a minute, is that kind of one-sided? Why should I always try to please him? Think about that. Is that fair? Is that even fair? I should live my life trying to please some guru and God. What about me? Huh?
It's automatic. If you please him, then he's so magnanimous that he'll satisfy you also. So it's always a win-win.
It's always a win-win. As a matter of fact, you'll win more because that's just the way he is. He will give you more than you deserve of good and less bad than you deserve. That's just his nature. As you read the Vedic literatures and as you chant Hare Krishna, you get to know this personality of Krishna. Without getting to know the personality of Krishna, there might as well not even be a God. If you cannot associate his personality with him, that's the same thing as saying there is no God. Everything has a personality. Taralakshi Gopi, you have a cat? How many cats have you had in your lifetime? Huh? Just one? You've seen other cats though, right? Are they all the same? They have different personalities. Dogs have different personalities. Every entity has a different. Have you ever noticed? Like twins, I've seen identical twins born minutes apart. They look the same. They have totally different personalities. They can. They don't always, but they can. Can't the Supreme have a personality? There's no logic in this at all. You can't say, well, he just doesn't. So the source of everything includes, that would be also the source of personality, doesn't have a personality? I don't know. If that's true, that's way over my pay grade. I can't figure that. No, it can't be true. So when you get to understand that God's personality and he's really crazy about you, now that's something that's pretty valuable to know, that the most powerful entity is madly in love with you. He sees you as perfect, totally perfect, beautiful, so beautiful he doesn't want to take his eyes off of you. So if I can see his personality, I'll start to want to do some things for him. You know, when I'm cooking, I might want to cook him something nice. Somebody may say, well, that's dumb. You're standing there at the stove and you're wanting to cook something nice for God. God's not going to eat it. Well, you don't understand how he eats. He can eat by glancing at it. He eats it by becoming the offering. So that then what we're eating is sanctified, or as they like to say now, blessed food. So, has anybody ever felt blessed? You feel gratitude for being blessed? So you feel grateful once in a while? For gratitude to mean anything, you've got to add to who. Are you just grateful? If you're feeling blessed, who blessed you? Did it just fall on you? Did you just trip over it or something? You know? No. Who blessed you? Where'd you get the blessing? I feel blessed, and then complete that loving feeling by the Supreme. Wow. You say that like he has a personality and a reason to bless you. Well, now that's pretty cool when you start thinking about having that kind of a relationship. And if I feel that way about God and you feel that way about God, there's not going to be any dissension. Not material dissension. We may disagree. I want to cook him rice and dal. Or you may want to cook him some nice vegetable prep, and you might want to cook some sweet. We disagree. But I still love you, respect you, and we're all trying to please the one that we're in love with, the one that's in love with us. Dissension goes away. The cause of dissension is because we have material social intercourse. And you're interested in, I don't know, some crazy thing, some political view. I'm totally against that political view, so I don't like you. As a matter of fact, from what I'm seeing in America, I don't notice this. I don't notice this in other countries. But we actually hate each other. We disagree politically. I hate you. You know, God, I'll do anything. Hey, drive a Tesla, I'll scratch it up because I hate you. Boy, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Sounds pretty cuckoo. Doesn't sound like a loving society, does it? Sounds like we've lost that love and feeling. You know? We did. When we came to this material world, we start to lose that love and feeling. Because I'm looking out for me. You're looking out for you. We're going to have to struggle for the resources. If we're both looking out for Krishna, we're going to work together. There's going to be harmony. Now, in that real world, on the other side of time, there is complete and total harmony. Harmony is really sweet. Harmony is peaceful and loving. When there's lack of harmony, there's all of this dissension, struggle. And it'll morph into hate. Why? Because we are not realizing the personality of the Supreme. So I was going to talk about Einstein. So someone thought they were really smart, and they were talking to Albert Einstein about evil. They were saying, Mr. Einstein, you say that everything comes from God. Einstein said, yes. So there is evil in the world, yes. So then evil comes from God. So God is also evil. So Einstein, being a pretty smart guy, I forget what his IQ was. It's like 160 something, wasn't it? Or something like that. Anyway, smarter than most of us. So Einstein said, let me correct you on something. There's no such thing as evil. What? For instance, there's no such thing as cold. You can't measure cold. You measure heat. And something feels cold due to lack of heat. You measure heat, however big, more or less it might be. There's no such thing as darkness. There's the absence of light. You cannot measure darkness. There's either light, which you can measure, or none, which you can't measure. There's a couple other things that he threw in there. But evil is the lack of realizing the personality of Godhead. If If I recognize that there is a supreme power, but it doesn't have any personality, well, then I can do whatever I want. You see? There is no Krishna as eternal time, the eternal witness. He's watching you because he loves you, not because he's there keeping score. Oh, I'm going to punish you. You're going to get it, buddy. You know, next lifetime. Oh, you're going to be born as a snake. And he's not like that. He's just observing. Why? Because he's interested. And he's always giving you opportunities to come and embrace him. Turn your personality towards mine. Let's embrace. Let's get personal. Until we get personal, it's the same with us. It's not just between us and God. Until we get personal, how can I love you? Why should I love you? I don't know anything about you. Oh, thank you. You see, we have to get, as they say, up close and personal. You can't get up close unless you're willing to get personal. So, I'm going to pause and ask, are there any questions, comments, criticism? Yes, Vanessa.
Ways to get personal with he who is watching the object getting personal.
Say that again.
Some ways of getting personal.
Some ways of getting personal.
Yeah.
First thing that hit my mind was call out his name. I don't know you, Krishna. Krishna, show yourself. Show me. Let me see you. And if you mean it, he'll show himself. He may do it immediately, or it may take a little while until you're ready. When you're ready, and that could be when you least expect it, he will show himself. When he does, you'll connect the dots and you'll realize, hey, wait a minute. That's always been you. In moments like this, that was always you. We weren't connected. Why? You are the ability in the living entities. So whenever I've done anything wonderful, that was you, wasn't it? I had the desire to do something wonderful. You're the source of everything. You fulfilled my desire. You were so kind. And when I wasn't thinking of you, well, then I thought, maybe I don't have to do something wonderful. Maybe I can do something not so wonderful. Maybe even nasty. You see? If I'm connected with that Supreme Personality, and I mean connected, like a dear friend that's sitting right next to me, I'm going to be less apt to do nasty things. You see? If I'm not connected personally with the Supreme, I can do anything. If the Supreme has no personality, then it won't react. You see, it's just there. Maybe it's just there fulfilling my desires or whatever. You see? Is that a good answer?
Well, the interview with Einstein, where did you read that from?
I don't know. I read that about 40 years ago.
Oh.
So where it came from, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
There were many people who tried to trip him up because he didn't always try to be the smartest man in the room.
He was conforming to that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. He also said that the smartest people have one thing in common, or many things, but one particular thing that highly intelligent people have is they never think of themselves as the smartest person in the room. because they know how much they don't know. People who are less intelligent think they know it all. You know, have you ever meet anybody like that? They just know it all.
They don't have any like wisdom, like they're not very wisdom.
Right. I don't have anything to learn from you. I know it all. Those are less intelligent people. Highly intelligent people know, I don't know. That's why they study, read, remember. You see?
Yeah, I think like I read, I think it was small Krishna, the small
Uh-huh.
I was listening to a lecture. He was saying like actually the more advanced you become, like the less you should think that you can see Krishna. Like the harder it is to see Krishna, because you're constantly searching for that personal way of seeing him.
Right. Even though you may see him all the time, you feel like I'm not doing enough. I don't see him enough. I want more. That's the nature of love. When you're head over heels in love, can you get enough of your beloved? Now, the kind of love that we think of in the material world, you may say, yeah, you get fed up with them after a while. Well, it's not supposed to work that way if it's real love. It doesn't work that way, you see. Can't get enough. Krishna, I can't get enough of you. I can't think of you enough. He's thinking that way of you. I can't get enough of you. That's why he's stowaway. He's right next to you. The Param Atma lives right next to you. He doesn't have to be away from you, so he refuses to. He can't get enough. So we should think like that. I can't get enough. You don't think, oh man, I've made it. You're never going to have, as you pursue spiritual life, you're never going to get to the point where you feel like I've made it. I am there. I have arrived. You always want to be better. And better is possible. It's ever increasing. Love, not only real love, not only never goes away, it's ever increasing. Next moment, it's going to be so much better, moment after moment, for eternity. So, good questions. Yeah.
I had a question about what's the word you're using? Dissent? Dissension, is that the word you're using?
Yeah.
Well, I was just kind of curious. Unfortunately, sometimes my Facebook algorithm, a lot of good Hare Krishna content comes out. But sometimes I go make the wrong choice of looking at the comment section. And I see a lot of dissent. And I'm just curious how one should approach that. For me, I just kind of think like, okay, well, we can agree that we're all focused on one thing, but for me, it just seems so. I don't like to see it. It seems so hard to see. Like, oh, why is there so much dissension? We're all on the same path, following the same teacher, and how should one approach dissent within our practice?
It bothers all of us. We see this sometimes from people who have been devotees for a long time. So, why is that? So think of spiritual life. Let's think of ISKCON, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Let's think of it as a hospital. All right? You go to a hospital, there's people there. They just checked in yesterday, and they're really sick. Why? They're still in ICU. They may make it, they may not. Then, a couple of rooms away, outside of ICU, there's people who've gotten out of intensive care, and they're doing better. But boy, they still got a long way to go. Then you've got people who are up and walking around after their operation. while they're taking physical therapy. They still have a long way to go. They may be halfway. Then you've got people that have been there a long time. Boy, they're making such progress, and they're just about to be dismissed. Maybe in another day or so, they're going to be dismissed. They're going to go home. Everything in between. And of those people who get almost ready to go home, sometimes they have a relapse. They don't follow the instructions of their doctor. They're not taking their medicine properly, and they start to decline. So we have people that have a relapse in spiritual life because I start to get my biggest enemy. I start to associate with my biggest enemy, self-interest. Now that flies in the face of everything that people have told us in the material world. You got to think of yourself. You got to think of number one. You got to watch your own back. Nobody's looking out for you. That's the nature of the material world. It's not the nature of the spiritual world, of the real world. You see, as soon as I get a little bit of self-interest, that kind of starts to destroy what I've built. What have I built? Bhakti, love for Krishna and everyone. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in Krishna. I'm interested in the welfare of this tree out there. That tree's given us shade for no telling how many decades. You see? As soon as I start thinking of, my own self-interest, now I'm not thinking spiritually. I'm thinking materially. You see? So self-interest, now that can manifest in, I'm thinking, I want more respect. Why, I'm a long-time devotee. Why, I'm a guru. I should get more. I'm not getting enough respect. I start thinking about me. That contaminates my whole atmosphere. I should have gotten to the point, all of us should get to the point sooner or later, when we feel I'm okay. I'm a part and parcel of the supreme source of love. Krishna, he's my dearmost friend. I do what I do to try to serve him and all his living entities. As soon as I start thinking, hey, what about me? I want more fame. I want more distinction, you see. Then I'll start to maybe do something for me. It's not an offering to Guru. Many times the folks that you're talking about, and I see the same thing, they stray away from what it is that Prabhupada has written in his books. They'll disagree without saying, well, I disagree with Prabhupada, but they say. There's a whole lot that goes on from time to time about people are saying. They're making some statement, but it's not supported by words that Prabhupada said or words that are in Prabhupada's books. But it's the way I'm thinking it should be, because I'm affected by the material energy. You know? Hey, Kirtaneshwar, can you make up a plate for me to take home?
Drive that one up, you can say, or make it
I want to take another one home for Keshwa. He's sick.
Okay, I'll see how much is left. We have.
Okay, whatever you can. So does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Self-interest. As soon as self-interest comes in, I might have been chanting Hare Krishna for 50 years. I get that. I start tasting the poison of self-interest. I start getting affected by the material energy. Start thinking about me. When are we going to get over ourselves? I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm an eternal living entity. Krishna says, never was there a time when you did not exist. Never will there be a time when you will cease to be. I got nothing to worry about. As a part and parcel of Krishna, I can't become diseased. I can't get old. I'm eternal. Krishna is my best friend. I've got it made. I don't need anything. And whatever I need, Krishna says in 9th chapter, 22nd verse, I'll carry whatever you lack. You become my devotee. Whatever you need, I'll furnish it. I believe that. Why, for 53 years, I've seen that come true. It's not a coincidence if it happens 53 years. I mean, if it is, that's pretty weird, you see. So I don't have any excuse for me to introduce self-interest. My own interest in me. I'm good. Krishna is so interested in me, he sat with me all this time that I tried to get away from it. For billions of lifetimes, he's followed me. He's very interested in me in a very positive way. So if he's interested and he's in complete control, I don't think I have any worries, do I? Well, I'm actually on easy street. I don't have to be worried about me. Why, everything works according to his will. And I'm always going to get what I deserve. That's the nature of karma. You'll always get what you deserve. You never get what you don't deserve. Regardless of how bad or how good you're getting, you deserve it. He doesn't pick on anybody. He's equal to everyone. You can have all the mercy that you want. And if you start to be his friend, if you start to really work for him, well, his love gets even warmer and he wants to give you more and more. And you're not wanting any more and more. That's the nature of bhakti. My dear Lord, I want to do for you, and I'm not expecting anything in return. That's what makes love sweet. I give it to, and I'm not expecting it to come back. I just want the privilege of loving you, you see. So that's a problem that we have and we're trying to deal with. The only thing we can get people to do, perhaps, to deal with it, chant more Hare Krishna, read more. Oh, thank you. Put it into action. Read it, learn it, do it. Start living that way. But don't be surprised if this sprouts of self-interest will spring up from time to time. It's like when you you ever do any gardening? You ever done? Back in the 70s, before it was cool, I was an organic gardener. It wasn't cool at all in those days. It wasn't hip. Nobody thought you were hip unless it was another hippie, So, and I noticed that no matter how hard I tried, every so often there'd be a weed that would sprout up in my garden, So that's the way it is with spiritual life. Every so often there's going to be a weed. Prabhupada called them hippie seeds. You water your garden, you're watering the seeds that you've planted, your tomato seeds or whatever, but you're also watering the weed seeds, and they'll sprout. So you have to deal with them. You have to know that this is a possibility and not be surprised when it happens. Not let it bewilder you. It's unfortunate when we see others that let it bewilder them. I've even seen this self-interest completely destroy spiritual life. Somebody who's been practicing for 50 years completely lose it over self-interest. Typically, they sprout back. They come back after some suffering. So I'm okay. I don't need self-interest. You're okay. We're all okay. But let's get closer to Krishna. Let's get better. And let's try to make sure that we're on guard when the hippie seeds sprout. We can deal with them. You can pluck them out or just put some compost. Put some compost on it. And then it'll become compost, we deal with it. It's gonna happen. That's okay. You see? Is that a good answer?
Yeah, it's just,
It's a good observation.
yeah, well, it's just, I mean, I don't consider myself a devotee yet, but one thing that has been instilled upon me really early is just try not to criticize the people that are trying to be devotees. They're trying to get closer to Krishna. And like, for me, that's how I kind of like deal with it. I'm like, okay, well, like, all I can do is not continue that. All I can do is not criticize that for criticizing.
Or maybe we can criticize in a way that we're observing. It's okay to criticize. It's like, I don't know, somewhere in the last few decades, it became like sinful to judge. Are you judging me? Well, when people ask me that, I say, yeah. I mean, it's like, is this air conditioning too cold for you? Oh, well, see, you're judgmental. I say it's too cold, you say it's not. You see? So you're entitled to make that judgment. No, I'm comfortable. And he may say, oh no, it's too cold. And she may say, no, turn on the heat. That's judgment. That's not bad. If you eat something that has too much chili in it, you're making a judgment call. Oh, this is too hot for me. So it's not sinful to look at someone and say, my dear Prabhu, I respect you and your desire to be a spiritual person, but I humbly disagree. That you said is wrong. It's not in keeping with the Vedas. And I'm saying it for my benefit, for your benefit, and for their benefit. They heard you say it too. You see? So just for the benefit of everyone, I disagree. I've observed and I disagree. Or maybe you don't want to confront them, but you might want to tell your friend, that thing that we just read, I disagree with that, and here's why. I'm not trying to hurt that person. I respect their right to say it, but I disagree. And right here in such and such chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says this. I'm agreeing with what Prabhupada said. You see what I mean? So it's okay. It's not bad. So criticism doesn't have to be nasty. You can make it as sweet as you can. Just, that's not, you're saying 2 + 2 is 5. I disagree. And I can prove it. Now, if you can prove that it is 5, then I'll be educated. But I'm going to show you how I disagree with what you said. So that's criticism. Now, if I go around telling people, well, he's just a big jerk because he said that. Well, no, I'm having difficulty, you see. And nobody should believe me. Nobody should. I'm in the modes. I'm in the mode of passion. So you shouldn't believe me. That's good observation. I share that feeling with you. How can we guard against it? We got to be as good as we can be. Let's be as good a devotees as we could possibly be. Maybe there's a hidden blessing when we see folks that behave like that. It's showing you how not to be. That's valuable stuff to learn. What not to do. It's good to know what to do, but it's also really helpful to know what not to do. Yeah.
So it seems like Krishna is often, it seems like Krishna is aloof from us. He's but it also seems like he's interested in us. Like, how do we reconcile that?
He is aloof in that he's not attached. He's renounced. Krishna's completely renounced, but he's completely attached to you. How is that? I mean, there are innumerable living entities, innumerable, bazillions. And Krishna is attached to every one of us. Every one of us is unique, and every one of us is capable of providing a particular type of rasa, a particular type of relationship. And he loves that. So it may seem that he's aloof because you say, well, he's not here. Well, no, he is. He's right here. He's right with you. Can you get to see him? Yes. As a matter of fact, as time goes by, you'll see him everywhere. Those are the words of Srila Prabhupada. You should expect it. Someday you will see him face to face. Someday that's all you'll be able to see. Someday it'll be impossible to look at the sky without thinking of him. You'll see him everywhere. Various colors of the clouds. Everywhere. If you study the Vedas, and I mean study, learn it, well, then practically everything you can think of something. If you do something good, you think, thank you, Krishna. You're the ability. He says, I am the ability in man and woman. If you remember something, like, oh, where's my car keys? Oh, I left them over here. Thank you, Krishna. Krishna says, I am remembrance. I'm also forgetfulness. So once you get to learn his personality, you can see him, you can think of him all the time. All right, anything else? Yeah.
I'd like to say that I'm 26 years old now. When I was 25 years old, right after my birthday, God humbled me, or Lord Krishna humbled me, and sent me to jail because I was extremely selfish.
Oh.
And the promises that I made to him in my youth, he could clearly see that I was falling back on. And to remind me of the words that I spoke to him and our deal that we had, he sent me in there for about 2 months. And a week before I was released, I had been sent to solitary confinement. And so I'm sitting in solitary confinement, and I have a spiritual awakening, so to speak, where I had that moment where I met God himself, just me, him, in the Bible. And in that moment, I slept like a baby for hours. And after that, I realized I made new vows to him, of course. That life is good. He's always thinking when I'm messing up and I'm celebrating. And through this reminder, I was able to return back to this path that I vowed to be on in the first place. And now that I'm back on this path, I'm doing better than I can be abundance and blessings in my life. And the partner that ascended in my life a week after getting out of jail, she's been on this path with me side by side. The only reason she's not here right now is because she's working. But otherwise, she would be here herself as well.
So you're saying this.
Just like you say, like I see everything now.
You're saying this. It sounds like you're realizing that he is giving you good things, and the bad things that you brought on yourself.
Through my
So,
own arrogance.
if we study this personality of Krishna, it's like a guy who has everything. He has everything, more than everything. Not only does he have everything, he has things that could be, that aren't. So he's there ready and willing to give you anything and everything. And we're saying like, oh, that's okay. I want to do it on my own.
I was so fortunate.
You know? So you're just realizing that. So when you get to this understanding, you realize that I'm okay. I don't have to have any self-interest. I'm okay. Krishna is my dearmost friend. Shrunidam Sarva Bhutanam.
Since I've noticed a massive difference, and it's been about 22 days now, I'm counting. moment where I felt stressed, very anxious, like I was a moment where I felt like I didn't have a purpose. A moment where I felt this very extraordinary, fearful.
We all need to realize a purpose, and that purpose has to be different than trying to get all of the enjoyment we possibly can out of the material energy. Without having a personal relationship with the Supreme, there's nothing left except to squeeze all of the gusto you can from the material energy. Just enjoy. And as soon as the enjoyment stops, you think, okay, what's next? I need more, and I'll have to. And if you run out of resources to enjoy, then I have to steal or beg or borrow some more. So that's the difference between material and spiritual life. All right. Anything else? Yeah.
So it seems like the guru's personality would over time become more like Krishna's based on their special relationship. So is it an appropriate way to learn about Krishna by observing the guru's personality?
Yes, it's a good point. The guru is actually a bona fide representative of Krishna. It's like Srila Prabhupada uses the analogy. It's like when England ruled India. So the king of England was actually the king of India, because India became a territory. But the king's not going to go live in India. He's going to stay in London. But he sends the viceroy. Now the viceroy is like the king. He thinks like the king. He won't say anything different from the king. And he lives there in India. And he is the king for all intents and purposes. He's not the king, but he represents the king. And he would never go against the king. So you're dealing with the viceroy, you're dealing with the king, and their personalities may be very, very similar. You see? Because that's his service to the king, is to represent the king's interest. So that's true, yeah. The guru has to become Krishna-like. Otherwise, he's going to try to create some material personality. The guru wants to be your servant. He serves you, that's his service to his guru in Krishna, to serve you and all other living entities. So this personality of Krishna bleeds over, and then you find that all the devotees become like Krishna. As they advance, they become like him too. You see? Because it's our nature. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We're all unique, but yet we're all very similar. Good point. Thank you so much. All right, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.